If I had to start my fitness journey from zero in 2026, knowing everything I know now after years of training and coaching people, I wouldn't start with a perfect diet. I wouldn't start with some complicated workout split, and I definitely wouldn't start some random brutal workouts just to feel like I'm doing something. I would start with a very simple structure, because looking back, when I first started training, I made so many mistakes. I was very skinny, I struggled to build muscle, I thought I needed more exercises, more supplements, more intensity, more random workouts. But the truth is, I didn't need more. I needed better basics. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I would do if I had to start again from zero. And I'm going to take you through step by step so you can actually follow this. The first thing I would do is build my base. And when I say base, I'm not talking about the gym yet. I'm talking about the simple things that make the rest of the plan easier, because most people try to fix everything with the workout. But if your day is messy, your sleep is poor, your food is random, and you're barely moving, even the best workout plan won't work properly. So the first thing, if I started again, I would make my morning very simple. I would start with drinking water, not because water is magic, but because it gets you out of that tired, dehydrated, low energy state. Then I would do 5 to 10 minutes of stretching or mobility, nothing crazy, just to open up the body, move a little bit, get some blood flow around your body, and start the day with more control. Because when you start your day rushed, scrolling your phone, replying to your messages, you go straight into stress. The whole day becomes reactive. Fitness becomes easier when your day has more structure. And this is what I help people with. The second thing I would focus on is protein. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was trying to build muscle. I was training, but I wasn't eating enough protein consistently. I would have random meals, some days good, some days not. And then I wonder why my body wasn't changing. So if I started again in 2026, I would make this rule very simple. Every time I eat, I would ask myself one question first: where is my protein in this meal? It could be eggs, it could be chicken, it could be fish, meat, Greek yogurt, protein shake, lentils or beans if that works for you. But the point is simple. If you want to build muscle, lose fat, recover better, and stay fuller for longer, protein has to be part of your daily structure, not just after workout, not just when you remember, every meal. And the reason this matters is because a lot of people train hard, but their food doesn't support their goals. So they are putting a lot of effort in the gym, but there's no building material coming in. So for me, this would be non-negotiable. Before I worry about supplements, before I worry about perfect diet, I would make sure I'm eating enough protein every single day. I've made a separate video on protein and its importance. Please go back and look at it in my channel. It might help you to get best out of how protein will help you build muscle. The third thing I would do is stop overcomplicating food, because this is where a lot of people get stuck. They ask, should I eat rice? Should I avoid carbs? Should I cut down the bread? Should I go low carbs? Should I fast? And look, there's a time and place for different methods, but if you are starting from zero, you don't need a complicated diet like this. You need simple food that you can repeat with protein, carbs, vegetables, water. That's the structure. Protein in every meal, carbs for energy, vegetables for health and digestion, water daily. And let me say this clearly, rice is not bad. Rice is not the reason people are out of shape. Rice is just a source of carbohydrate. And if you train hard, you want to build muscle, carbs can actually help you perform better, recover better, and feel better. The problem is not rice. The problem is having no structure. Random snacks, processed foods, sugary drinks, takeaways every day, skipping meals, then overeating at the night. That's where people struggle. So if I started again, I would keep my food boring in the best way. Simple meals, repeatable meals, mostly whole foods, protein, rice, potatoes, or oats, or fruit, vegetables, and enough water for hydration. I would keep a simple target, like around 2 to 3 liters of water daily. Not perfect, just consistent. Because the goal is not to eat like a robot. The goal is to build a structure you can actually live with. The fourth thing I would do is stop changing exercises all the time, because this is a big one. When I was younger, I used to think more exercises meant better results, more variations, more machines, more random workouts. But now, if I had to start again, I would do the opposite. I would pick a few basic movements and get really good at them, like squat, leg presses, some kind of hinge like Romanian deadlift, push, pull, core. That's enough to build a strong foundation. You need the squat pattern, you need the hinge pattern, you need the push pattern, and some core work. And then you repeat those movements, improve your form, track your weights, and get stronger over time. Your body doesn't change from confusion. It changes from repeated signals. So instead of doing 15 random exercises and changing everything every week, I would rather do 4 to 6 quality exercises in a session, then train them properly, push to close to failure at good form. And this is how you actually build muscle. This is how you actually change your body. Not by chasing soreness every workout, not by doing random sweaty circuits, not by copying every exercise you've seen online, You need a plan, you need progression, and you need to repeat it long enough for your body to start responding. The fifth thing I would take much more seriously is leg training, because when you start training, it's easy to focus on the muscles you can see, like your chest, arms, shoulders, because you get a pump, you look in the mirror and you feel good straight away. But legs don't give you the same instant reward, especially for the men. They are hard, they're uncomfortable, and a lot of people skip them because of that. But if you want to build a strong, athletic, balanced body, you cannot ignore legs. Squats, lunges, RDLs, leg press, hamstrings plus glutes. Training legs builds your foundation and it improves your strength. It makes your physique look balanced, and honestly, it teaches you how to work hard. I wouldn't say leg training is magic. It's not like you train legs once and suddenly everything changes. Big lower body movements create a strong training stimulus. They demand more effort. They build real strength. And if I started again, I would never skip legs just because they don't give me the same ego pump as the upper body does. Because a strong body needs a strong base. And then finally, I would protect my recovery. This is the part most people they ignore. They want the best workout plan, best diet, best supplement, but then they sleep 5 hours, drink every weekend, and wonder why their progress is slow. So I would add this as a final reminder. Recovery equals to results. 7 hours of sleep every day, limit alcohol consumption, especially on the weekend, walk daily as much as possible, repeat. Sleep affects everything. Your hunger, your cravings, your training performance, your recovery, your mood, your discipline. So if I started again, I would treat sleep like the part of the program, not something optional. And with alcohol, I wouldn't say you can never drink. That's not realistic for most people, but I would control it because alcohol affects your sleep, recovery, food choices, and the next day's energy. So if your goal is to get in best shape possible, you can't pretend alcohol has no impact. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to be honest. So if I had to start my fitness journey from zero in 2026, this is the structure I would focus on: these things: sleep, hydration, steps, protein, simple food, and compound movements. Focus on strength training. This is the base, not a perfect diet, not a crazy program, not a 30-day punishment plan, guys. Just the basics done consistently, because the truth is most people don't need a more complicated plan or diet. They need a repeatable one, and you can stick to for 6 to 12 months, and your body will change, your energy will change, your confidence will change, and most importantly, you will stop feeling like you're always starting over. So if you're starting from zero, or you feel like you have lost your routine and you want a simple structure to get back on track, DM me the word method on my Instagram. I'll send you a simple starting structure you can use this week to build your routine again. Simple structure, better habits, stronger body, real consistency. That's the method approach.